I made a video at the beginning of this year describing my credit card strategy to be able to travel to Australia later in the year. However, my plans changed, as they always do. So instead of flying to Australia, my family and I are now flying to Vietnam. There are a couple of reasons for that. Number one is the visa process and how long it can take for Australia. And number two, the distance to fly to Australia for such a short vacation. And the reason we chose Vietnam is because it kind of solved for both of those things. The visa process was much simpler, and the travel time, at least for my family, was lower. So in this video, I'll talk about my Q2 credit card strategy that is being optimized for travel to Vietnam. If you're new here, my name is Abhi. This is Credit Debit with Abhi, and like we do in all of our videos, without further ado, let's dive in. The first card in my wallet is the Chase Inc. Unlimited card. This is a business credit card from Chase that you can apply for if you're running a business or even if you're a sole proprietor. Without getting into the intricacies of who qualifies for this credit card, I'm going to speak about how this ended up in my wallet and why this is one of the cards I'm using in Q2 for my travel in Vietnam. A couple of months ago, even though I was above 524, I got a personalized email from Chase with an offer to spend 6K on the Chase Inc. Unlimited card and get 75,000 points. And the email also said I was pre-qualified for the credit card. And if you've been in the credit card game for long enough, you know the Chase points are pretty valued. So I couldn't really say no to the offer. And it's also worth mentioning that I already have the Chase Inc. Unlimited card. So this is my second Chase Inc. Unlimited card for the same business. As skeptical as I was, I unfroze my Experian credit report and applied for this credit card, and to my surprise, got approved. So I'm using this credit card for every single business expense there is, with the simple goal of getting to that 75,000 intro offer after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months of card ownership. Taking this back into the goal of traveling to Vietnam later this year, the 75,000 points that I'll earn on this credit card, I'm going to use that to book Hyatt properties when I travel to Vietnam. Now granted, Hyatt does not have a ton of properties in Vietnam, but I'm really interested in checking out the Park Hyatt in Saigon. The second card in my wallet in Q2 is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now this was already a part of my credit card strategy at the beginning of this year, and the reason why I have this in my card still hasn't changed much. But there's an incremental reason as to why this becomes even more effective. And that's because Chase transfers not only to Hyatt but also to Marriott and a bunch of airlines. While traveling to Asia, Star Alliance partners are the incumbent. And Chase allows you to transfer your points to Aeroplan as well as United Airlines, amongst a slew of other Star Alliance partners. There's also the case to be made of transferring over points to Marriott, since Chase is a transfer partner to Marriott. While the redemptions aren't the best in the industry, if you're really trying to book your stay without paying dollars out of your pocket, it might be worthwhile for you, especially if you're trying to top up the points required to book a hotel. So I'm using the Chase Sapphire Reserve for all of my dining expenses, so that's 3x back on everything I spend on dining and on Lyft rides because of the recent changes to the card and the benefits that were added for Lyft, where you get $10 back every single month when taking Lyft rides and 5x back for every Lyft ride that you take. Which brings us to the third card. Well, it's technically two cards in this setup, but they're used for the same reason. I'm talking about the Citi Strata Premier and the Chase Freedom Flex card. The Citi Strata Premier had an offer where you can earn 5x back on Amazon purchases, and the same thing applies to the Chase Freedom Flex this quarter because you can earn 5x back on anything you spend at Amazon.com. So I've been using a combination of these cards for anything I spend on Amazon. I've already made the point around how I plan to use the Chase points, but as it relates to Citi, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to be using the points. One of the ways I can be using the points is by transferring over the points to Accor, because there are a bunch of Accor properties in Vietnam, and then using those points to book my stay. Now again, the redemption from Accor points transferred over from Citi isn't the best, but if you're looking to optimize your stay and book it only with points, it's not a bad option. The last card in my wallet in Q2 is the American Express Platinum card. And I'm using this card primarily to book my flights, because you get 5x back on flights directly booked with the airlines. And there are two use cases I can think of for the American Express membership reward points I'm earning. Number one is to be able to transfer my points over to flight partners and book my flight to and from Vietnam. Number two is if I don't end up using it for my trip to Vietnam, maybe towards the end of the year when I fly back to India, I can use the points to book a business class flight. And I've said this in a few of my previous videos, I do believe that American Express membership reward points is the stronger currency when trying to transfer over to flights. Chase and Ultimate Rewards is the stronger currency when transferring over to hotels. So those are the four, well, technically 5 cards in my wallet. So I'm curious what you think about my strategy and what you would have added to my strategy knowing what you know. Let me know what your Q2 wallet strategy is, and I'll see you in the next one.